Welcome to Orono Fire Department Animated. I'm your host, Mike Walker. Today we're going to take a trip to Tri-Town Training Facility here in Orono. It is a collaborative effort between Orono, Glenburn, and Veazie. As you can see in the preview, I did some really cool stuff. If you hang on, we'll watch at the end. I am firefighter Mike Walker. Today we're here with Captain Seola from Orono Fire Department talking about Tri-Town Training Facility.
Thank you, Mike, for the introduction. We are here at the Tri-Town Training Facility. Tri-Town meaning that this training facility was developed with help from Veazie Fire Department, Glenburn Fire Department, and Orono Fire Department. We all share this training facility for the purpose of training our firefighters, especially our new recruits, but also continuing training with our senior or veteran firefighters. Today you are looking behind me at a 3 Connex box building that is a 2-story structure with multiple uses, including a ventilation prop, hose advancement, the use of a maze for our firefighters to train in, and also a sprinkler demonstration and a standpipe demonstration so that we can utilize our equipment in different ways so that our firefighters know how to utilize and deploy our equipment rapidly. Let's take a tour of the Tri-Town training facility. We are here on Delta side of the Tri-Town training facility. This is where our exterior staircase to the 2nd floor leads. It leads up to our horizontal roof props. So if you got a minute, I'd like to show you that. Come on up. All right, so we are now on the deck of the Tri-Town training facility. This is where we utilize a vent prop that we would call a horizontal vent prop for flat roofs. There are 2 different styles of roof props that we have here. One is a 4x4 hole that would be utilized for any flat roof, but also we have what we would utilize for a trench cut. Trench cut is used in the event that we need to cut a little bit bigger hole to stop the fire spread from one building to another. And so that's what that's used for. Behind me you'll see that there's a wall that is framed up. This will actually be covered very soon with some metal roofing so that we can keep the weather out, and there'll be an access hole so that we can make entry underneath our vertical vent prop and get to some of our supplies. We are currently standing in the 2nd floor of the Tri-Town training facility. This will actually be used for hose advancement and also for bailout simulations. We'll have a 2nd floor stairwell that will be coming up in, and then we'll also be able to utilize the 2nd floor through the exterior staircase. The hose advancements will be able to take the hose line and advance it up to the 2nd floor through the staircase. And currently, if you look down on the floor here, will be a hole in the floor which will have our stairs coming up through, hopefully next spring. We are now at the other end of the 2nd floor Connex box. We're actually on Charlie's side of the building, and this is where our bailout simulator will be. There'll be a wall built. The wood is actually on the floor beside me. There'll be a wall built with a window that we can utilize for training so that we can actually bail out and have our firefighters be able to use their safety gear in the event that they were in need of exiting the building rapidly. There'll also be right straight in front of me a hole in the floor that will act as a confined space prop. It'll be similar to what you would see on the street. That'll be utilized to set up our tripod to be able to do a confined space rescue, but it'll also be able to be covered over so that we can utilize this multi-purposely. We are currently on the 1st floor. You are looking through the door on Alpha side of the building. This is the main entry. The Connex box has the doors that open up, and then an interior door that is utilized for our entry. The Connex box doors continue to allow us to keep the building secure. And then we also are going to look behind me, and there is currently a prop set up for additional maze, but this will also be utilized next year for our staircase to go to the second floor, and that'll be utilized for the hose advancements, as we have talked in the past, so that our firefighters can get used to pulling hose lines up through the building and through some very tight spaces, and have some more practice. In the very back of this Connex box will be the confined space, the lower part of the confined space pit, very similar to some of the steam pits that we may end up going into, or anything that we might be able to access from a vertical position utilizing our tripod and confined space gear. So we are still on alpha side of the building. This is our main entry point. This is also the location where our forcible entry door will be utilized. That will actually replace the door that's here, and it can be used to force. It'll be made out of steel, and we'll be able to put different type of material in the door, so to make it harder or more difficult for the firefighters in the event that they have less training and they need more development. We can also put lighter material in so that they can train on it. Currently we are standing again on the first floor. We're looking out the ventilation hole, or the window demonstration. This can be utilized for the hydraulic ventilation. These cans smoke up pretty well with a smoke machine. We are able to utilize our hose lines to produce a stream that will take the smoke out of the building quite rapidly. It can also be utilized for firefighter safety and survival, where we take a down firefighter that is in the need of being rescued, and we can utilize a technique that most commonly referred to as the Denver drill, and assist that firefighter out the window in a safe manner. We are still on the first floor. This is one of the most important parts of the training facility. This is our maze. This is utilized, we utilize this for the search and rescue of not just citizens, but also of our firefighters. It can also be used for confined space horizontal. It's really unique because it's actually a single floor, but it's actually made into 2 floors. So where we usually crawl around, we can utilize it as a 2-story maze. There are a lot of obstacles. The obstacles are unique because we can move them. So at no time is it the same maze. We can move the blocks around so that it actually is a totally different floor plan. The initial tunnel of the first floor is right where I am pointing now. There's also an entanglement hazard that can be used to trap firefighters and be able to allow for them to work through the process of getting out of any type of entanglement hazard. Up above me is a second floor egress point and also ingress point, and that is where the majority of the maze is, and where all of the difficulty really lies is on the second floor. And that's also where we utilize the use of the confined space, a horizontal confined space prop. Mike, before we go, I'd like to explain what our future plans are for this training facility. Obviously, we have a little bit work to go before phase 1 is completed. However, a lot of work has been done here with the assistance of our firefighters who work for the town of Orono, the financial obligation that Veazie and the town of Glenburn has had. But our future really is all dependent on us and how we want to continue to develop this training facility. Behind me, you'll see that we do have some room still. We are in hopes that we will be able to add one more Connex box for the purpose of live fire training. That'll be utilized to be able to have our firefighters who may not yet have had a live training burn, that we would be able to complete that. So hopefully you'll be back sometime, Mike, to be able to see everything that we've accomplished and what we may have in some future years to come. I would also like to thank everyone who has assisted with this. project, including the town manager, fire chief of Orono, and our other two departments, Glenburn and Veazie. Please check out our contribution list at the end of this, because there are a lot of other people to thank who made this possible, and especially the Orono Public Works Department. Without them, we never would have been able to do this. Thank you.